Hey, Coach Candace here. I am filming this on January 1st, and of course many folks are going to have some New Year's resolutions and many of which will include ways to goals with improving your healthier fitness. And while on the one hand, I do want to encourage folks with that you don't need a special day of the year to start pursuing like a better version of yourself. Like, yes, it's a Thursday, but you could start on any Thursday. Like, it doesn't have to be a start Monday or start the first. Like, you could start on any given day throughout the year. However, I do recognize that there is a special positive energy around starting this time of year. So I do want to I'm not going to shun someone for not waiting till this day to start. So, but again, you can start any day throughout the year. But ultimately, I'm also a fan of them, again, when it's done right, because I feel like myself, I'm the product of a New Year's resolution. So for my backstory, at my heaviest being 220 pounds, just really struggling to lose weight. And 2016 was the year that I told myself, I have to commit to this. Candace, you know you can do better, and so you're going to do better, and you're capable. You just gotta buckle down and do this. But I feel like much of what I did and learned through that year has helped me maintain that weight loss. So I didn't gain it all back after the year ended. But ultimately, it was the launching pad for so many tremendous things. So for that reason, I will not discourage anybody from pursuing a New Year's resolution. But I think back on that time, and these are some principles and habits that I incorporated, kind of the summarized version that you can adapt and incorporate yourself, or adapt for yourself, or incorporate for your own success this year. I'd love to see this year be different for you. So some of the things that I did, now again, many of these are simple tactics, but not always easy. Simple doesn't always mean easy. Many times it may start out feeling like work, but ultimately that work is going to pay off in the long run. So one thing I absolutely did was tracked my nutrition. I used the free version of MyFitnessPal still to this day. By all means, if you want to pay for it, go ahead. But I used the free version and used it to accomplish great results. But it didn't just track nutrition and make it a task that I just kind of checked off each day. I actually used that to learn about what I was eating. And to this day, as I educate clients, I'm never going to say there's a good or a bad food, but there's some foods that support our goals more than others. And that helped me see which foods were supporting my goals. So, for example, if I'm striving for a protein target each day, what foods were giving me the most protein? Or sometimes, believe it or not, yes, I can tend to overeat carbs just like anybody else, but there's also been times where I wasn't eating enough to support the work that I was doing. So many times people view tracking as something shameful and that you're telling on yourself, let's say for having a cookie. But many times flip it in the reverse. Are you eating enough of something? So are you eating enough protein to ensure that the work you do in the gym or whatever it is that you're trying to do is being supported? So, but ultimately I like to think and I want to say I probably tracked for about 9 months straight that year, but I firmly believe that what I learned from that process has helped me maintain my weight loss because I'm more knowledgeable about food. And what else I want to say about that? So yeah, just tracking again helped me maintain that again. And now I still use it if I want to dial in towards a specific goal. I still ultimately go back to tracking. Number 2, I made my own food more often than not. I definitely buckled down and did a lot more meal prep. At the time, I was a floor nurse working in the hospital, many double shifts. At the times, 12 hours weren't a thing, so it was mostly 8-hour shifts, but definitely my fair share of doubles. So what I did is regardless of what shift I was working, I was often prepared with my own food. I had to skip going down to the cafeteria because I felt like going to the cafeteria was a trigger for me, in that I would be tempted by things that I didn't otherwise, wasn't hungry for until I saw them. So making my own food also gave me more control over the nutrition I was tracking so that I can ensure what I was eating supported my goals. So essentially planning and preparation helped me be more successful. So again, it's not to say that I never did eat out. Like many folks still know, like I enjoy my pizza. Like I still enjoyed some non-tracked meals or some foods that maybe again weren't like quote unquote nutritious, but ultimately they're still just a part of life. Again, like I wouldn't encourage someone to necessarily eat pizza every day, but like I'm not going to not include that. And ultimately, again, that's probably like another small point within that. Like I found a way to make all of the foods I enjoy work for me to accomplish my goal. On the other hand, many times, like I'm sure I'm going to hear it like a dozen times or just see people talk about it like that. Oh, I'm giving up my carbs for the new year. Like that was never going to happen for me to be successful long term. So I found a way to incorporate the foods that I enjoy. I learned how to do that by tracking my nutrition and still ultimately the vast majority of the time still prepare my own foods, but still made sure I was able to incorporate the things that I enjoy and will not give up. So 3, I exercised consistently. Now that again may look different for everybody else, but like I didn't sign up for something like I wasn't going to be able to maintain for a long time. So for example, like you're not going to see me signing up for a 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. boot camp because I have no interest long term in exercising at 5 or 6 a.m. if I don't have to. There was a period of time when I was training for triathlon where I had to be in the pool at 5:30 in the morning. So yes, I did do that, but my preference is to not do that. So sign up for a form of exercise or participate in a form of exercise that you enjoy and can continue forever. And don't look at you're just signing like, and I want to say stop getting into time limited goals. Like don't look at like, hey, what am I going to do for like 6 weeks or I'm going to accomplish this goal in 6 weeks. Like ideally you should be exercising for your entire life. So like whether it be eating or exercise, what can you do now that you can do for a lifetime? And I want to say, yes, of course, I love it when people work with my gym or my coaching service. Of course, I appreciate that. But I understand we're not a good fit for everyone. Everyone is not a good fit for us. Thank God that there's a number of gyms out there that you can find one. There has got to be one that is a good fit for you. But I will say, similar to finding a new job, like don't quit one thing until for sure you know you have something. So this way you don't have a month gap where like, hey, I'm not doing anything. Find your place, find your tribe, find your community, whatever it might be, and be consistent with that. Now, again, I'm not saying like burn the candle at both ends and work 7 days a week. Like that sweet spot, like I work with a number of clients who work out 3 days per week with a focused, individualized plan and achieve tremendous results. So don't think that like you have to kill yourself on the treadmill and do only that, or that you must work out 6 or 7 days a week to accomplish your goal. Like all that is not necessary. So just find something that you can do consistently and do it well, and you will accomplish results. For myself, at that period in time, it was belonging in a CrossFit gym. But again, like still ultimately, like I still do a lot of that in some respect, but much of what I do is more of like a functional bodybuilding, or I enjoy some ollie lifting or powerlifting. Like I still enjoy a lot of that, but I'm not necessarily in that environment. 4, trusted the process. So a few things I did at the time, like I weighed myself once a month, or I'm trying to think, which again, I encourage people to weigh themselves more often just to kind of be in touch with like where you're at. But it's also, again, helpful from a learning perspective, like to understand like, hey, weight fluctuations are normal. So that this way you jump on that scale one moment in time, you see it's up 3 pounds and you're freaking out because you think like all of this work is for nothing. But you could very well weigh yourself the next day and be 2 pounds less. So doing that during that time helped me learn and understand that better, whereas previously I would think like nothing is working and quit. So being patient with the process and trusting it helped me learn that the work I was doing was helping. So 5, having goals other than weight loss. So for myself, my 3 New Year's resolutions that year were 1, to lose 25 pounds. And this goes back to like trusting the process. It took me about 7 months. I can't remember if it's maybe July or August. I have it in my book if you happen to check out my book. But like, it was somewhere around July or August is when I lost that 25th pound. So yes, I did have one weight loss goal out of my three main goals for that year. And the second goal being at the time I was very active with Spartan races and planning for my next trifecta and one of my bucket list races, because I kind of had a feeling like after 2016 I didn't really want to do Spartan races anymore. It was always on my bucket list to do the Vermont Beast, and it was always like in the Spartan community, it was kind of known as like one of their tougher races. And it was very exciting, though. It was like the race where I got my first intra-race rope climb, so that was exciting. But I will say, like, the hills, my calves were shot for like a few days. So very tough, but super proud that I had done it. And again, it was like probably my biggest challenge to date at that time. And so grateful for the process, that because I was consistent with my nutrition that supported my healthy goals. I exercised consistently, which then ultimately helped me accomplish my goal of my Spartan race trifecta and doing a challenging race. And my third goal was to be able to do one strict pull-up. At the time I was able to do kipping, and now, like many years back, many years away from it, I realized the value and importance of learning a strict before kipping. So for example, like I don't teach my clients to kip first until they can do strict. So always prioritizing that because it's better for your long-term shoulder health. But, and I want to say, like, if anything, this is gonna be a small little asterisk here, but I didn't quit. So for those that know me or have talked about it, like I didn't get that strict pull up until the week between Christmas and New Year's. So like, so very easy to like get frustrated or feel like disheartened with the process because it's not happening. But again, like I still consistently worked on those things. I still ate to support my goal. Because like, why should you work so hard in the gym but then not feed your muscles well? And still continued with like the focus on that, and still kept showing up and putting in the work, even though like even in the weeks prior, like I had attempted but still couldn't do it. So I didn't quit, and then it actually happened like that week between Christmas and New Year's. So be okay as you set a New Year's resolution that it might not happen by February, it might not happen by April, it might not even happen by June, but it's just something that you commit to throughout the year. But again, very like not too, I mean, how do I want to say? I don't want to say like not too many days are going to be go perfectly, but you're definitely going to have those days that get in there are less than ideal. Parents, like you might have kids that like keep you up all night, or they're sick, and maybe you hit a few days where like, oh gosh darn it, I'm missing the gym, or some emergency happens and you do have to live off fast food for the day. Like, you know, you're always going to have those bumps in the road, but ultimately you need to not quit and just get back to a routine as soon as you can. And anytime, like, again, I do fall short, like I try to, like, it's all in how we view those times where we fall short. Sometimes like people again ultimately feel like they're a failure, or they just can't do this, but really like that's an opportunity for reflection. Like think back, like what can I learn from this? And I try to remind folks there's no losses, only lessons. Like if I fell off on my nutrition, was it because I didn't prep my food, or did I not plan or prepare well? If I fell off on my exercise, like what happened? Like was I trying to do too much, or again, you could be doing too much, or just whatever life circumstances. But I want to say here, what else do I want to say? But just like all of these are interwoven, like it's not any one thing, but a combination of things. And how this might look applied to each person is different, but applying these things are going to help you be successful in the long term. Because again, like, yes, we could talk about 2026, or we could talk about the next 3 months, but these are things that you can apply for a lifetime. That, you know, like I always try to like reinforce with folks, like I'm not into helping you lose like 10 pounds over the next 4 to 6 weeks. Like, can it happen? And have I had it happen for people? Yes. But I'm not interested in that 10 pounds that you just keep off for a few weeks. I want those 10 pounds that you can keep off for a lifetime. So this way, You're not like Susie out the office who's always trying to lose like another 10 pounds on this new diet of the month. Like, no, it's just like whatever you do should be something that you could do forever. So like, if you love carbs, do not start keto. If you can't do it forever, don't do that. If you can't do that 5 a.m. boot camp forever because you were a night owl and you hate getting up early, like, do not start the thing that you cannot maintain. Like, again, think about yourself beyond the next 6 to 12 weeks, beyond this year. What can you do for a lifetime? And that's going to help you yield the best long-term success. And again, a lot of these are tactics, but also like very much also mindset. Like a lot of times like the tactics to lose and maintain your weight loss are simple, but you just need to get your mind around those things. And I want to say the biggest thing that holds people back, all or nothing thinking. Like it's either perfect or it's not. Like sometimes you gotta be okay with like meeting in the middle with some things, but then sometimes also like I want to say adjusting your expectations. Like if you're not going to do these things consistently and you're only going to do them 3 or 4 days a week, like then you're probably only going to get 3 or 4 days a week results. Whereas the more you can kind of like lock in on the things that matter, like then your results are going to reflect that. So all that to say, I know this was a bit of a longer video, but just so much I want to say, and so much I could probably still continue to say. But I only want the best for you, and I just want you to believe that you are capable of achieving whatever it is you set out for yourself. But having a plan, being consistent, are going to be the things that help you get way further than trying to just do it and hope for the best. So I hope you found that helpful. Just a little plug for our coaching service here. But whether you want to work with us remotely or in person, like we can help you move forward with a plan. So this way you're not trying to figure out stuff for yourself. Like we take the opportunity to learn more about the person. What are the challenges you're facing? What can you do, not do? Where are you now and where you want to be? Like we take that and sort that all out and help you have a more concentrated effort. Like, time is limited for all of us, and we want to help you use that in a way that's beneficial and fruitful for you. So please check us out, www.achievewellnessandfitness.com, or just message me directly and I'm happy to help. So thank you very much. Happy New Year. Make it a great day.